Are you as hype about talk shows?
No,
Why?
because they're scripted.
But what if
the majority of them are.
What if it was a real talk show?
It would have to be someone that I've already see. What's awesome about podcasts is that you get to spend an extended amount of time with a person.
Mhm.
So like people that I listen to regularly, I know them.
Mhm.
Like I could meet them and just start having a conversation because we know the same topics now. We
Sure.
have similar interests. I've never spoken to them before, but I know them.
But they don't know you.
They don't know me. It's a weird phenomenon, but like I've even heard them talk about this in the past. Like people will come up to them and they'll just start talking and like have everything in the world to talk about.
Do
like,
I know you?
yeah. And like they'll walk away and be like, do I know that person? You know? So I would need to have that person kind of be established before I watch like a talk show with
But
them.
here's the deal.
Cause it's like,
You're just this is essentially a talk show. What we're doing right now. It's a
Yeah.
podcast, but it's talk show
it's different.
it's different. There's not as
No.
many cameras.
It's true.
They're only established in your mind because you've invested the time to make them established in your mind. So therefore, like,
It's true.
wouldn't a talk show kind of be the same thing?
Yeah. I just think talk show and I think like Oprah. So maybe I just have a poor,
So as long as there's like substance to what they're saying, and they're
there's
not
been
talking
substance
about
to some of the stuff that Oprah's done.
Oh yeah, 1,000,000%. But I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, on a consistent basis.
Yeah. No, it could work. It could work. I don't know if it ever could work on the leash of
a
established
network.
media.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What we're seeing right now is kind of the death of a lot of these
Mhm.
media organizations. And I'm so happy about it. I'm so
Do you
happy
think
about it.
YouTube will ever start to rein stuff in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they already have.
I mean,
You can't say certain things without getting banned on YouTube.
like what?
I'm not going to say it.
Darn it.
There's certain
Like words?
names that you can't say.
I can't say a name.
There's a
Voldemort.
yeah, and that one's fine.
Darn it.
There's plenty of Harry Potter stuff on there. No, the Beetlejuice. No. There's things that you can't talk about. There's things that the people you can't say their names. All these strange rules are already in place. I mean, even people that have some notoriety have been demonetized for reasons unknown.
Mhm.
You know, they file like a complaint against YouTube, don't hear anything.
Mhm.
There's just
So will there ever be a truly free media?
I don't know, man. I really don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't know because what we have in place is so powerful. I mean, look at what happened with that Parler. Have you ever heard of that?
Oh, that thing that was around for like a week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we've talked about this before on the podcast, but like Parler was a free speech alternative to Twitter.
Mhm.
So a lot of the people that were kicked off Twitter got on Parler.
Dude, do you think Trump would have been on Parler if it was still a thing?
No, that's the weirdest part.
Yeah, but
because
like he got kicked off Twitter. Do you think he would have just went there?
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't
don't
really even
know
have an
either.
opinion on that.
I'm just goofing off.
No. But like a lot of people actually wonder if Parler wouldn't have been shut down if he was on there already. Like if he had already established himself on that platform.
I thought it just like sprung up once Twitter started like
No, it's been
started
going for a
taking
little
stuff
while.
down. Oh,
I
I thought
think
it was just
I don't know if it started in 2019 or 2020, but it's fairly new.
yeah.
And I didn't use it that much. I had it because I wanted to check it out.
Yeah.
And it was definitely more right wing.
Mm.
It was definitely more conservatives on there saying what I didn't find to be abnormal.
Mhm.
I didn't think, anything being, although I'm not a person to go like looking for like the deep conspiracy or just deep I don't know. I don't even know what to call it.
Yeah.
I'm not in any private Trump groups or, Antifa groups or QAnon, or I don't even know anything about all that stuff. I do this podcast and I have a life, and no offense, but you should be offended. So going back to the point of, do I think something could ever come up as an alternative to YouTube? I doubt it, because Facebook, Twitter, Google, and Apple and Amazon took out Parler. Just completely nuked it, and it was done in a day.
Cool.
So like Parler used Amazon servers to back up its data.
Mm-hmm.
So Amazon was just like, well, we're not going to let you back up your stuff anymore. And then there was just like the whole app went dead. And then Apple and Google were like, oh, well, we're not going to offer your app on our stores anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So it's dead. No proof. Like, because one of the things that was really insidious about that was that they shut down the servers so that they couldn't even get on there to like show what exactly were the grounds for saying that they incited the Capitol Hill riot.
Okay.
So, but we have documented evidence that there were groups on Facebook that were organizing.
So here's my question
for that.
Here's kind of where I'm leading with that.
Yeah.
Is media in itself the issue? Whether it's YouTube or
could be,
or Fox or CNN or whatever.
Yeah,
whatever
could be.
you like. Does this happen if the world is smaller? And what I mean is like, I don't know. Like I'm thinking like TV shows right now where they're like, oh, like there's a population of like 800 people and everybody knows everybody, kind of a thing. But it's just like you have those communities of people
better conversation then
that cared about each other. Like something I love, and one of the reasons we bought the house that we did was like we met the neighbors like when we went to go see the house, and they're like, dude, we all just sit out on our porches in like the summertime and like we have conversations and like we catch up with people. And I'm like, that's what I want.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, if we could stop looking to, I don't want to say media, because I think it's good to be informed about these things. But if we could start to look to our community for help and for knowledge, if we could start to look like, for better or for worse, like start to look to our parents, like as we're growing up, like learn that's like a reliable thing to go to, which is like a lost art nowadays.
Yeah. It is.
Like I learned how to tie a tie on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like I learned how to shave from YouTube. Like real talk, but it's just like that conversation, when it's broken down in the home, breaks down the community, which then leads us to running after these conversations that aren't happening any other place.
Mm-hmm.
So don't know where I'm going with that.
Well, one of the things that Britt brought up a long time ago was just this idea of anything in life, put it through this filter of, is it good for me? Yes. Is it good for my family? Is it good for my community? Is it good for the world? Kind of putting everything through this filter. And, if this new thing that you're introducing into your life or that you're doing with your life is good for you, okay, now how does it affect your family? And thinking through that grows that thing, that idea or that thing that you're doing in your life. And now you're looking at how it affects others around you closely. And then you extend it out to, how is this affecting my community? And so going back to the media point, it's not healthy for you. So, I mean, it really should stop right there. It's not healthy for your family because it's creating horrific home environments. I mean, the horror stories I heard from Thanksgiving this year, just talking with some of my coworkers.
Yeah.
It was sad. It was sad. There was family members having to come at different times because they didn't want to interact with certain members that believe certain things politically. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just, and I think it stems from our consumption. It stems with you consuming this media on a god awful amount of time basis, you know?
Yeah.
and now it's infecting the family, and then it's going to infect your community. Look at our country. What's up, everybody? You just watched a clip from one of our Just Breathing podcasts. If you want to see the full version, you just hit the link in the description below. Or if you want to just keep watching clips, we got some more right here. Thanks, everybody.